Hello everybody, yes, welcome to Donington Park. Motorsport is back. I hope you're having a good Friday. See what I did there, and boy oh boy, do we have a feast of motorsport for you today. I'm covering the British Endurance Championship. That means we've got Audi versus Lamborghini versus McLaren versus Ferrari and all the rest. Unbelievable. James, you're here this weekend. Great to see you. What are you covering?
We're covering all the BARC races. We've got minis, we've got classic touring cars, we've got pre-66 touring cars. To be honest with you here, we've got a bumper fest of cars here today. Hopefully no bumpers involved. But look, it's going to be amazing.
Now, if you're wondering why I'm stood on the top step of the podium, it's not because I've won anything. It's just because I'm a lot shorter than James here. That's why I'm up here. But look, I'll tell you what, enough from us. I want to go racing. Do you want to go racing?
I always want to go racing.
Fantastic. Let's hand over to the commentator to tell you what is coming up first. Hello everybody, I'm at my favourite place possible. Yes, we are on the start-finish straight here at Donington, about to start for the British Endurance Championship, race 1 of the 2024 season, and it is a familiar face on pole position. Yes, Peter Ursig will be lining up on pole very shortly. Now listen to this for the top 8. This is the different cars we've got. We've got an Audi, a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Porsche, a McLaren, a Ginetta, a KTM and a BMW. That is your grid for the top 8. Unbelievable. We are going to move down a little bit. In fact, I can see, if you just come with me, FaZe, we can actually see the man on pole position. It is Peter Ursig behind the wheel as well. He's the 2023 British Endurance Champion driver of the series. We're going to go grab a quick word with him. We've been told to clear the grid, but we won't go just yet. Let's just keep going, shall we? Because we don't really like to do it. Look, we're still being told to go. Let's just jump in here. Actually, I'm going to see who is starting in this one. How are we doing? All right. So how we feeling? How are we doing? All right. You good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. Yeah, all set.
Now, how are we feeling? You happy with how qualifying went?
Not really. A bit disappointed. Just a little bit of a scruffy lap rule. A couple of scruffy laps. Had one disallowed. So yeah, we'll make up for it in the race now.
Right, I better go because we're getting told off. Best of luck for the race. Thank you very much. Let me shut that there. Time for us to go. We do want to catch up with a few drivers in the pits as well later, certainly after Simondet, all the way over from Texas. He's raced a little bit in C1, so plenty of action to come. 2-hour race for the British Endurance Championship coming up now. This is going to be an absolute corker. Let me hand back to you, commentator, and I'll see you in the pits.
So then the 2-hour race for the British Endurance Championship is just a few moments away from beginning. It will be Ursig at the wheel of the number 9 car, the pole-sitting car for the start of this race. John Seal is to start the number 55 Lamborghini GT3 alongside that. Bonamy Grimes and Johnny Molam on row 2 of the grid in their Ferrari 458 Challenge car. It will be Bonamy Grimes at the wheel for the beginning of the race. I believe Johnny Molam will be in the car from first pit stop right up till the end of the race. Richard Avery will start the Porsche 992 Cup from row 2 of the grid. Row 3 of the grid, the number 68 car, Aaron Morgan taking the start alongside Ray Harris in the first of the Class G Ginettas. Row 4 of the grid is the very impressive KTM Crossbow, the 62 car from Track Focused. It's going to be Mike McCollum starting that car alongside the 72, the solo-driven BMW E46 GTR in the hands of Chris Murphy. Woodrow Motorsport preparing that car. Row 5 of the grid is the Porsche GT4 car, the 161 entry, third among the GT4s, of course. That 161 car, or 116 car as I think it might actually be, is going to be started by Balsidhu Josh Steed, who we heard from down on the grid. He'll be just behind him, taking the car over. Johnny McGregor from row 5 will be starting the MacG Ginetta G55 Supercup. So then that was our top 10 on the grid. The rest of the order, row 6, the Thompsons in their F-Type Jaguar with the LS3 engine. Garnett and Houghton in their Mercedes-AMG GT4 are next. Just to touch on the starting drivers there. I've just taken that information down from my screen, which is brilliant. The 88 car will be started by Adam Thompson, and the 25 will be started by Carl Garnett. Row 7, the Mercedes BTCC car, will be started by the 75 of Jamie Callender. So Jamie Callender starting that car. The Seat Cupra alongside that, the 23, that is going to be started by Chris Byerlin. Row 8 of the grid, our final row. The number 8 car unfortunately isn't taking the start because of suspension damage, and the 213 of Josh Tomlinson rounding out the back of the order. So then the cars are on the formation lap. Our cars rolling towards the proper start of the season in the British Endurance Championship. The race clock is ticking, but the racing will begin after they come out of Goddard's. The V10s, the V8s, the flat 6s, and much more besides will sing away as we go racing in the 2024 British Endurance Championship. It's an all GT3 front row, and it looks like it's going to be Peter Urseg that gets the best start of anyone. However, I did say look out for the Porsche Cup car. Around the outside there goes Richard Avery. He ends up down in 3rd place. A little bit of close running between them as we get underway. Bonamy Grimes there losing out to one of the Ginettas. That's a very fast starting Ginetta there in the hands of Harris. Harris having a really good start to the race. The Driven Performance Engineers Ginetta already up in 4th place, but Bonamy Grimes should have the quicker car, the Ferrari 458 Challenge machine. There is the KTM Crossbow GT4 car, running just ahead of its GT4 compatriot, the Porsche Cayman. The 2 GT3 machines streaking away. Those cars, of course, belong to Class A. The 458 Challenge has gotten past Harris, so Harris falls back a position. Towards the Melbourne hairpin we come for the first time. It is going to be Urseg that crosses the line. The GT4 leader now chasing the Porsche Cup car. Of course, on paper, the Porsche Cup car is a lot quicker than a GT4, but the rain is proving to be a great equaliser. And of course, Aaron Morgan certainly knows what he's doing at the wheel of the 68 Team Brit car. Ginetta going around the outside there in the hands of Johnny McGregor. Again, the Porsche really wobbling around. Johnny McGregor dives up the inside. He moves himself up into 6th overall with that move. That also critically will put him directly behind Ray Harris. So Johnny McGregor can now go hunting for the lead in Class G for the Ginetta G55 cars. There's Johnny McGregor leading Class G. Of course, the MacG Racing team, a proponent of the British Endurance Championship, and before that the main category of what was Britcar for a number of years, using their self-developed MacG Tyrannus, and before that an Ultimate. It's been a consistent supporter of this organisation for over 13 years at this point. We've seen Johnny evolve into a very, very handy driver. He already came in as a very handy driver from the world of Scottish racing. Meanwhile, I understand that Johnny McGregor has been caught by Ian Waterhouse. So we're going to go down to Ian in just a few moments and chat to Johnny.
Right, welcome back to the pits. I'm here with Johnny. Johnny, just done your stint there, but you had to navigate quite a tricky opening there.
Yeah, it was quite tight at the start. There was a bit of a gap, so I threaded the needle. It all got a bit dicey then when the rain came down, so I managed to take advantage of that. Then obviously the quicker cars sort of gradually caught us back up. But yeah, no, it was good fun.
Now Arthur's in the car now,
Yep.
all the way from Texas, of course, but he has done a bit of C1 racing, but a Ginetta's slightly different, right?
It's very different, but he's done a lot of testing in Ginettas. He obviously tested yesterday. He's done quite a lot with the Ginetta factory, so I've got full confidence he'll put in a solid stint.
I better let you go because I took you away from family dinner. I'm really sorry about that.
No, it's quite all right. It's quite all right.
Good luck for the rest of the race, Johnny.
Thank you
Thanks for
very
talking
much.
to us. Add it back to you.
There is the MacG Racing Ginetta then powering onto the straight. Johnny McGregor has now handed over to Arthur Simondet. Arthur, who is a Texan native and a French national, that's a bit of a combination, is based here in the UK. He's been a keen racer for many a year. Also into his adrenaline sports and sailing as well. John Seal getting past. Who has pitted and who has not so far in this race? Unfortunately, my timing screen doesn't actually... yes, it does give me that column. So the top three have not pitted. The top four have not pitted. The first car that has made a pit stop is Harris in the other Ginetta. However, of course, that was the drive-through early in the race. That car is of a slightly different performance bracket to the other Ginettas, a slightly different specification, which is why the drive-through was given. There is the G55 Supercup in the hands of Simondet, running second place for the time being in the Class G category. Meanwhile, down at MacG Racing, the 83 Ginetta's co-driver is down with Ian Waterhouse. That is Arthur Simondet, the Texan native French national who now calls the UK his home. Quite a background on him, and Ian Waterhouse is down to ask him about how his race has gone so far in the MacG Ginetta.
Right, welcome down to the pits, everybody. We've got Arthur here now. Arthur with MacG Racing, of course, in the Ginetta. A little bit different from a C1, which you've raced over here before.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, quite a bit different. Yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be here. The car's fantastic. Team's been great. You know, everyone's been super supportive. Yeah, just got out of a 50-minute stint, roughly. Pretty smooth. Multi-class is a little bit interesting, right? It's not something I'm used to coming from MX-5s and C1s, like you said. But yeah, I think for a first outing, I'm happy with it.
Now, some people might pick up that you've got a slightly different accent. So, where are you from?
Is it obvious? Yeah. Yeah, from the good old state of Texas. So shout out to all my Texans that are watching the live feed. And my French nationals as well. They shout out to them. Yeah, just overall very happy.
Well, can we just say if there's any Americans or French watching, put it in the comment section. Give Arthur a bit of a shout out at Bark TV. Best of luck for the rest of the race.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Adam, back to you.
Thanks, Ian. There is the 83 car then back in the hands of Johnny McGregor. This car currently leading in the Class G ranks. Now, has it made its second stop? Yes, it has. Everybody should have now done that. And indeed, everyone has. Of course, the pit window has just closed with 19 minutes and 25 seconds left in the race. The pit window is shut. In these kind of conditions, having that big of a contact patch is actually quite the detriment to the car's grips. I'm sure Jamie Stanley is having to tippy-toe at the moment. You saw him going wide through McLean's. There is the 55 Lambo bouncing across the curbs, still using the curbs despite the fact that the rain is starting to make itself known again. You can see the wipers going there. There's our third place overall car then, the Class D leader, Bal Sidhu for Zentek Motorsport, and oh, he was getting a bit squirrely there into turn 1. That car doesn't look very comfortable under braking at the moment, does it? Oh, it's all kicking off. Coming through Goddard's, there were 4 cars in one area there. Everybody's got through it okay. Jamie Stanley, of course, trying to make some track space if he possibly can. But of course he doesn't want to risk too much by going offline and trying to go side by side with other cars in conditions like this, in slick tyres, but he needs to do it really. If you start driving at half-mast, then you're going to start making mistakes, and he gets past the 72 car there. That, of course, being the Class F leading BMW of Chris Murphy. You see, everybody is really having to pick their spots and find that grip, what little there is of it. Cook, the checkered flag is out. The checkered flag was held out there, didn't wave until the car was passed, I don't think, but Urseg and Cook are your winners in round 1 of the British Endurance Championship. The second place car will be the number 55, a lap down. There is your winning car through the spray, through the haze and the rain. Here comes Jamie Stanley to cross the line, second position at the end of the race there. And here is your Class D winner, Bal Sidhu, takes the class win. Sidhu and Steed claim the first Class D win of the season. There is Sean Cooper taking second in class there for Track Focused for himself, and also for Mike McCollum. Third in the Class D going to the Mercedes there across the line. Johnny McGregor and MacG Racing going through there to win Class G in the Ginetta G55 Supercup. Good result for McGregor, as well as his co-driver Arthur Simondet. It's a victory for Urseg and Cook in the number 9 Audi R8. They win it by a lap over Seal and Stanley. The first of the Class D cars home, third overall for Sidhu and Steed. The McCollum and Cooper KTM from Track Focused very nearly got to the back of Sidhu before the end of the race, finishing 4th overall. The first of the Class F cars takes 5th. Chris Murphy in the BMW E46 GTR. Garnett and Houghton taking 6th overall. The first of the Ginetta class cars home, the Class G cars home, was Johnny McGregor with MacG Racing and with Arthur Simondet, his co-driver. The Thompsons finish in 8th place, second in Class F.